What is going on, everybody? We are about to go live for JBuck Live Tuesday night. How is everyone doing? Hopefully everything's running okay. Something just popped up on my side, so hopefully you guys are doing well, having a good week. We are about to get started as soon as I get all of my ducks in a row. And yes, actually no, there's not going to be ducks on this episode. I'm sorry to tease all of you, but we have a fun show. Some fun stuff. Might be a quick one, to be honest. So sit back, relax, and we're going to kick this thing off in just a second. Might be a quick one. All right, let's kick into the intro in 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to JBuck Live on JBuck Studios. A lot of JBucks going on. How is everyone doing? It's Tuesday night, 9 o'clock. I know it's a little late for some people, but it's just early enough to talk about some movie news and shenanigans and all sorts of other stuff. So who is in the chat? Let me know in the comments. What is going on? What have you guys been watching this week? What's been going on? We have a whole plethora of news. I'm curious if people jumped over to Netflix to watch a few things this weekend or looking forward to things this coming weekend. For myself, though, this weekend I was away. I didn't really cover too much Comic-Con and Justice Con news, which we'll cover tonight. Don't you worry. But I went on a nice trip, essentially. I went camping and whatnot. Hey, we have Toast Media in the chat. What's going on, Toast? But yeah, this last weekend I went on a nice camping trip. Luckily, it was not too hot, too crazy, whatnot. It was nice. It was nice to get away and whatnot. And one of the crazy, weird things that we did. Hey, Skull Queen and Dorito Chip Gamer. What is going on, everyone? Hopefully you guys have had a great week and weekend. But yeah, this weekend we went camping, and one thing that we did, which was completely weird and kind of against what I do, because I love frogs. But anyway, some of the people, they were going to go fishing over at the pond right next to us. And that pond apparently had 0 fish in it. They went over there, they tried to fish for a couple hours in the morning, caught nothing. But then they said that there was literally a plethora of frogs. And I was like, I love frogs. Let's see how many frogs there actually are. And this pond, lake or whatever, it was filled with frogs. So they went and bought some BB guns, shot/caught some frogs, and then they fried up frog legs earlier or later on in the day. And let me tell you, I've never had frog legs. I'm a big fan of frogs. Like, I love them. They used to call me the frog man. So I was a little weary on whether or not I should eat these things because I love them so much. They are delicious. A little weird because it's like a cross between chicken and shrimp. Like, if they formed into something, that's what these frog legs tasted like. So that's kind of what I was up to this weekend. Definitely out in the sticks, doing some weird things out there, campfire, all of that stuff. But yeah, frog legs, definitely something that I would say maybe takes an acquired taste. But yeah, they were fried up. They were very yummy. I'm curious on if we would have spent a little bit more time prepping them and whatnot, but they were pretty good. We have split opinions in the chat, obviously. Skull Queen is all for the frog legs, and Toast Media is about to throw up because I was eating some delicious hoppy hop frog legs. Aside from my adventures, a few other things that I had just kind of going on this week. Yes, Seth says, the Frog Man. Yeah, they used to, fun story, I'll get into this. When I was younger, I absolutely loved frogs. For a Halloween costume, I was a frog. We had all of our Halloween costumes for many years of just cardboard cutouts. So I was a cardboard cutout of a frog all of my stuffed animals, all of my shirts, all of the posters I had in my room were of frogs. So yeah, for a long time, they called me the Frog Man. Yeah. Funny joke, film stock. Hey, what's going on? Just hopped in here, but I never had frog legs. Heard they taste just like chicken. Yeah, man. Anything and everything fried taste a bit like chicken. It was definitely like a sea chicken, like not chicken of the sea because that's tuna, but definitely like a sea type chicken for sure. But aside from all of that craziness and my lore of me growing up as the Frog Man, a few things that are on my channel that have been going on this week, and they're coming out close to you guys in the next couple days. Umbrella Academy Season 2. I have a review for that. Don't worry, it is spoiler-free. So if you want to go check that out, it's now on my channel. Check that out after JBuck Live. And also, I just did a review for Transformers, a new animated limited series from Netflix, and I was lucky enough to get screeners for both of those. So those reviews are on my channel, and they were coming. Transformers drops on Thursday, and then Umbrella Academy drops on Friday. So check those out if you're interested about those shows, and show some support for me. Jump over there, at least give it a like, do something like that. What are you guys saying? Yeah, Seth has to say frogs and pickles. What other green things were you for Halloween? Yeah, I've been on their podcast a handful of times, and it's these wacky, weird costumes that I had as a kid, which weren't even costumes. They were cardboard cutouts with my face cut out and then just pop them on. So I had a frog outfit. I had a pickle outfit. I was a bat one year. I was Squirtle one year. I had a whole ridiculous amount of crazy Halloween costumes. So I should just do an episode. When it gets to Halloween, I'll do an episode of Halloween costumes and past Halloween costumes because I love Halloween. But aside from that, I don't know. I haven't really been watching too much of new content. That's not worded properly. But yeah, I haven't really been watching a whole lot of stuff. Yep. Yeah, Toast Media. My childhood crush was definitely Kermie. Oh, Kermie. Skull Queen has to say, I ate a frog legs as a kid once, but I recently ate some last year, and it does taste like chicken. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's weird how all of that tastes like chicken. So I'm trying to think of all of the amphibians that I have eaten or reptiles. So I have an alligator. I think I've had snake once. And I've had frog legs now, so I'm crossing off all of my amphibians, I guess. I don't know. We're getting all crazy. Movie Files is in here. Elliot from Movie Files. But guys and gals, it's JBuck Live, so we have some movie news to get through. Obviously, the sidebar, I always, right over there, sidebar of some news topics. We're not going to get too in-depth about stuff. We're going to have kind of a casual episode. Oh my gosh, Tyler Calvert jumps in here with a great ranking video, Amphibian Meats Ranked. You know what, sir? That is being written down in my handy-dandy notebook over here after JBuck Live because I think that would be pretty funny, or pairing amphibian meats with a movie. But yeah, we're going to get right into it. We have a whole bunch of quickies and a few other news items that are a little bit more than a quickie, so we will get into that. And then obviously some bigger announcements towards the end of the show. So without further ado, let's get in to the best part. Actually, not the best part. The second best part of the show, the quickies with the sounder. All right, guys and gals, this is the quickies portion of the I'm mushmouth today. This is the quickie portion of the show, which if you're new to this is going to be me covering some news items in the realm of entertainment, movies, news, video games, all sorts of stuff that are kind of quick. We're not going to get too in-depth about them. But this last weekend, apparently The Kissing Booth 2 exploded all over Netflix. Everyone was talking about it. It is ranking in the top videos over on that platform because they have no rules. And apparently it has already been filmed, greenlit, and ready to go. But The Kissing Booth 3 is on its way. Who is excited for this? Who was able to watch The Kissing Booth 1, 2, and is excited to round out this trilogy of kissing booth movies, I guess. One of the top trilogies on Netflix. I have no idea why, who wants this, what is going on. I will say, disclaimer, I have not seen these movies. I just have heard that they potentially aren't the best. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Mark Escobar in the chat. But yeah, the Kissing Booth 3, don't worry, all you Kissing Booth people. There is a third one already filmed on the shelf of Netflix, ready to go. Even more movie news. Snake Eyes. Apparently, there was a G.I. Joe origin story Snake Eyes movie in the works. It has already been filmed. It is ready to go. I think some more editing. And it was supposed to come out on October 23rd. I don't think anyone knew that this was even a movie. I don't know if people were looking forward to this movie, even knew that it was a thing, expanding out that G.I. Joe world with, apparently Henry Golding was going to be Snake Eyes as the lead character, and also starring Samara Weaving, who I loved from Ready or Not earlier this year. But yeah, I'm kind of like, wait, whoa, hold on. This was a movie, and this movie was coming out this year, so it was originally supposed to come out October 23rd. Now it has been moved into a to-be-determined date of 2021, much like every other movie out there. So apparently Snake Eyes G.I. Joe, yeah, it is a thing for sure. Let's see what you guys have to say about Snake Eyes. I heard it was a thing a while back, and I already knew about the Snake Eyes movie. So yeah, apparently it wasn't a secret. Some of you guys already knew about it, but we haven't gotten a trailer. We haven't seen really a poster. There hasn't been really anything, and that was surprising for a movie that was coming out in, 4 months? Crazy. Moving on, a few fun things. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Apparently, he was supposed to, complete break. Yeah, thank God Ray Park isn't in that. You know what? That is I should have done a funny sketch or something about that Ray Park news this weekend. Very, very weird thing about him happened on Instagram, essentially. Anyways, getting back into the news because you guys are getting me off topic. The Rock apparently was supposed to be Willy Wonka in the Tim Burton Willy Wonka movie. I think that's ridiculous and crazy and whatnot, but think how crazy and different that Willy Wonka movie would have been with a big, jacked The Rock Dwayne Johnson character as Willy Wonka rather than that feeble Johnny Depp character. I think that would have been ridiculous and crazy and whatnot. What do you guys have to say about a potential The Rock Willy Wonka movie? That's in the news right now. Adam McKay. I love his films. I love his script. He is very funny, but also tackles some serious things in his movies. Apparently, he is developing a limited series on HBO featuring COVID-19. Yes, the crazy thing that has been going on all of this time right now. Apparently, it's a race and hunt for the COVID-19 coronavirus vaccine, sort of comedy elements like all of his other films, and he is on board for this film. I'm on board for it. I think it'd be interesting to see kind of what this has going for it over on HBO. Again, he has his fingers in a lot of pies right now, so I'm kind of curious on what this Adam McKay COVID HBO limited series is. What are you guys saying? All the kids for that Willy Wonka, The Rock movie, all of them are going to be getting protein shakes instead of the chocolate. It's going to be, instead of a chocolate fountain, it's going to be a protein shake waterfall. I'm just thinking about how clumpy and weird that would be. Like, especially if Augustus Gloop fell into the protein powder and he's just, like, struggling. Oh, man, I'm getting off topic for sure. We got some more people in the chat. Hey, Amari, what's going on? And Second Street Marvel, what is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for jumping in here and hanging out. Yeah, Adam McKay. Adam McKay is developing. He also did Vice, The Big Short, and a bunch of other things over on that. So that would be that's a series I'm looking forward to. And rounding out, let's see here, okay, there's two things. A quick thing for all of you PS4 owners out there, Cuphead. Cuphead is a game that is like a 1930s animation style. It looks like it's very brutal for all of those people that playing for it. Anyways, if you're a PS4 fan or you own a PS4, some good news. They just dropped it on the PlayStation Store. It was originally an exclusive for Xbox, then went over to PC, then went over to Switch, and now it's on PlayStation. So 1930s, kind of like animation style. It's $20 if you're looking for a fun game, a very brutal game, might I add. But also they're making a Netflix series for this coming later this year or early next year, so check that one out for sure. Cuphead is pretty much everywhere now. But yeah, all of you PS4 people, you had to wait for it for this one. And then finally revealing one thing. Okay, so this last weekend was Comic-Con, but also they did this side thing, Justice Con, I believe it was, and I thought that this was actually part of Comic-Con, completely different. Anyways, they got some new tidbits about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Ooh, I hit the mic there. Anyways, his Justice League, he came out and said some interesting things about it. The fact that he is not going to use a single frame from that Joss Whedon that he was shot for the movie or anything like that. So it very much says one thing about the creative differences between him and Joss Whedon, and also him and Warner Brothers. So I'm kind of curious on what that's going to play out. But the one thing that really came out that is a very small thing, but a lot of people thought was really cool, was the black suited Spider-Man, or oh my gosh, black suited Superman outfit came out. So let me throw this clip up there. So this clip was released, a very brief clip, kind of it shows the original clip from the first Justice League, but then the suit is now black. So let me know if you guys saw this clip, if you're looking forward to this one. Again, it is just a brief look at what the differences of this movie are going to be. I personally think it's a small touch, but it's pretty badass. I think it's cool, and it ties in with the lore of Superman, how his outfit is healing him and everything like that. I'm on board for this. I mean, it's really cool.
Assuming you're Alfred.
I mean, again, a small touch, and this makes me even more curious on the comments that Zack Snyder made and this clip. How much different is this Justice League going to be, and is this going to be a huge epic? Is this going to open up a whole is he going to set it up for a sequel, essentially? I don't know. I'm kind of curious about that, but that is the latest thing for the clip that came out of that that Justice Con and a few other information and whatnot. Let's see what you guys are saying. My friend's a little brother was playing the hell out of that 2 years ago, referring to Cuphead for sure. A lot of you guys are saying that you guys saw the clip. Tyler Calvert is definitely, Zack Snyder putting the black-suited Spider-Man in the Snyder Cut would make the internet explode. Make it happen, people. Start hashtagging Spider-Man in the Snyder Cut. Let's make it let's make it trending, everyone on there. Did you hear about Ray Fisher and Joss Whedon? I think I heard about that, Mark. That was a news thing that I kind of touched on a little bit this weekend. But then very, very excited for Snyder's Justice League. Yeah, let me know. Are you guys now looking forward to Zack Snyder's Justice League? Because I know that this was like a huge movement, a huge hashtag thing claiming that it existed. Are you guys going to look forward to this on HBO? I know that they did mention in, I think, some fandom event that's coming up in about a month, they are going to actually release a teaser trailer for the Snyder Cut version. So in a month, we will have a first look, first trailer, all of that stuff. We are looking forward to that for sure. But that's the news this week. We have Justice Con, Zack Snyder, information about his cut of the Justice League. The Rock's supposed to be Willy Wonka. There was some Emmy nominations that I was going to touch on, but I'm just going to say The Mandalorian got 15 nominations, and Watchmen killed it with 26 nominations. We will be talking about more in depth of this on the SoCo Show this week, so tune in to the SoCo Show podcast where we will talk more about the Emmy nominations, but I'm going to skip over that, just kind of giving a brief thing about that. But yeah, Snake Eyes and then The Kissing Booth 3. What do you guys have to say for the chat? Let's see what's going on. Theory, Tenet and the Snyder Cut Justice League are connected. Hot scoop coming from Dorito Chip Gamer. He is saying that these two movies are connected. Hot scoop right there, people. Report on that. Amari is saying, yes, I'm excited for the only reason I'm getting HBO Max. Yep. A lot of people looking forward to it. DC fandom, can't wait for that. Yeah, also looking forward to the air cut of Suicide Squad. Okay, so scoop coming from Toast Media. Who knows if we will be getting that air cut of Suicide Squad? I know that he's been pushing for that as well, but sounds like you guys are very excited for Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. Who knows how long it's going to be? I know that he came out in an interview with Grace Randolph, mentioned that it's currently at 214 minutes, so that's going to be a hefty movie for sure. Anyways, guys and gals, we are going to get out of the Quickies portion of the show because that is the end of it. All right, poopy dupes, we are out of the Quickies portion of the show, and now it is my personal favorite part, and I'm sure some of you guys in the chat are excited for this portion as well, but we're getting into the one and only trailer talk, because we have a couple trailers this week to talk about.
See you later, Eddie, Mama, Bubba, Jim, Big Jim, Little Jim, Slim Jim, everybody. I'll see you later, Chow Ding.
All right, peoples, we are in the trailer talk portion of the show where, you know what we do? We talk about trailers. It's simple as that. But that's a badass banjo right there. I love it. Two things. I'm not going to include the trailers per se, but I'm going to talk about them. So there was a few, again, Comic-Con was this last weekend. We got some, more information on a few things. We got some featurettes. And the two featurettes that we got that I want to kind of touch on are Lovecraft Country, which is like this Lovecraftian lore set in the 60s, 50s, 60s, I believe, on HBO, and looks like a mystery of sorts, and they released like a 2.5-minute featurette of that, kind of a scene almost, and it looks badass. Like, I am excited for this because it's creepy Lovecraftian creatures mixed with a mystery thriller, very suspenseful, and it has a great cast. Great look, like aesthetic and everything that they're going for. So check out that Lovecraft Country featurette. That comes out on HBO, I think, episode by episode, August 18th. Don't quote me on that. In the middle of August, it's coming out. But then we also got a featurette of Antlers, that kind of Wendigo type movie that was supposed to come out back in like April, I think, and they keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. People thought that they'd drop the actual movie at Comic-Con. They didn't. They just kind of released a featurette and kind of some behind-the-scenes content. But honestly, it looks bonkers creepy, like bonkers in a creepy, creepy, creepy way. And it does also, since it is tackling Wendigos and the lore and everything around that, it looks and reminded me very much of Until Dawn, that PlayStation game where you're like 7 kids up at a cabin, and then, spoiler, there's some creatures up there. But a lot of the visuals from that game remind me of this Antlers movie. So those two things, very much looking forward to. Let me know if you guys have heard of those or looking forward to them. But the one and only, we got to talk about it. Every single week we're talking about it, people. The New Mutants. The New Mutants released not only another teaser trailer, but we got the first 2 minutes of the movie, supposedly. It's the movie, first 2 minutes of the movie, and man, we got some new footage, some new dialogue, some crazy-looking visuals. And I gotta say that I am looking forward to this movie even more. Again, they say that it's supposed to come out August 28th of this year in theaters. God knows if that's going to happen. And again, I feel like we talk about this every single week of this New Mutants movie, but it's becoming more and more of a thing, especially from this teaser trailer that looks very dark, very ominous, like these kids are trapped in a haunted house, essentially. But also that opening 2 minutes of the movie, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it looks very dark. I will say that it does seem like they rush it really quickly, so I don't know if it's kind of a condensed opening, but the opening does feel like it's like boom, 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 here we are, and it's only 2 minutes, so I'm a little wary that they cut this movie down, and hopefully they didn't do like an Artemis Fowl to it, because apparently the runtime of this movie now is 99 minutes, releasing August 28th. So I don't know. I'm curious about this movie. Let me know what you guys think of New Mutants. Are you excited for it? Do you think that they just need to drop this on VOD? Do you think that they need to put a minute of it on Quibi every single day for 99 days? Let me know in the comments below, or in the chat, the live chat rather. But yeah, I don't know. What are you guys saying? The New Mutants will come out by the time their great grandchildren become grandparents. Yes. And the actors, Jacob Anders has to say, yes, the actors are going to be in their 40s by the time this movie comes out. Yes, that's true. It's funny because if you watched kind of that pre-recorded panel of sorts, I guess, you can see how much they've aged from this movie to current day. So that's the New Mutants. But then we got another one that I really wanted to talk about, and it's from IFC Midnight. And they've been doing some interesting things with their films, and they just released the first trailer for this new kind of Russian horror sci-fi thriller suspense type movie called Sputnik. And if you haven't watched this trailer, it looks like it's a awesome, very gritty, like space horror type movie, almost resembling like The Thing. So in this first trailer, it's like these Russian astronauts, they come back to Earth, something doesn't go correctly, something's wrong, and essentially this guy is in quarantine, which seems very familiar with what we're dealing with right now. But there's definitely like a mystery element. Something is being hidden about this movie. So yeah, it's looking like a slow burn, kind of a ramp up of sorts, where there's like a creature in this movie. Some people are saying that it came out in Russia earlier this year, and it is hitting VOD from IFC Midnight. I believe August 14th is when this movie is coming out. So yeah, it definitely, the one thing that it reminded me of is The Thing, because it's these people, he has something living in him, but it's almost like this parasitic, symbiotic relationship. So very much looking forward to it. Yeah, Tyler has to say IFC keeps giving the horror alive during the pandemic. Yeah, they just did the rental. I think it was the rental a couple weeks ago, and then they also did Relic, I believe, as well. So yeah, they're doing some cool stuff with horror, and this one looks like definitely like a horror sci-fi, really cool movie in my opinion. So that's what we got in trailer talk this week. We have the New Mutants footage with the opening footage of the movie, but also the teaser trailer, and then Sputnik, which I'm looking forward to. I don't know if you guys are. Let's see here what some of you guys are saying in the chat. It would definitely make me subscribe to Quibi. Yes, Tyler referring to the New Mutants for sure. And Jacob Anders again has to say that, yeah, this Sputnik movie, again, it's Russian and it came out in Russia a little bit earlier. Master of Gaming has to say, what are my thoughts on Unhinged? I have not seen that movie yet, and I believe I talked to someone at that studio, and it's coming out August 25th now, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, guys and gals, that is this week in trailer talk, those handful of trailers that we talked about.
See you later, Eddie, Mama, Bubba, Jim, Big Jim, Little Jim, Slim Jim, everybody. I'll see you later. Ciao, ding.
All right, peoples, that was trailer talk. I'm going to be straight up honest. I was very busy this weekend, so I didn't have time to prep any commercials. I could play the commercials from last week, but I'm just not going to do that. So there is no commercial breaks this weekend, but if you want to sponsor the show, I'm just kidding. I make all the commercials. They're all fake. But we're going to get right into the main topic. And right before we get into the Hailee Steinfeld one, we're going to touch on Tenet again. I know that last week I said I'm not going to talk about Tenet anymore, but there was some brand new news that came out, and I feel like I need to talk about it because everyone's talking about Tenet. Everyone wants to know about Tenet. So Christopher Nolan's Tenet has plans for its new release. And according to this No Thing, if you're not familiar with it, according to New Cinema Blend, a bunch of other people on the internets have essentially, noticed or made this story come to the forefront. Yeah. So Tenet and WB they've been moving this date every single week, pretty much. Like the pandemic, that's what we're looking forward to, is Tenet and movie theaters opening up again. But according to this right now, Tenet is going to open up internationally in 70 different countries on August 26th. Canada on the 27th, I believe. But then here in the States, in the United States, we are not going to get Tenet until Labor Day weekend, aka September 3rd. Now, I'm curious what your guys' thoughts on this are, because one, the world is going to get Tenet a week early. So that means potential spoilers, potential pirating. We have touched on this week and week and week again, and everyone has talked about this. But what I'm worried about here is the fact that they say in the US it is going to be in select cities, limited theaters in the US right here. And usually when they do that limited movie release, they come out in bigger cities like Chicago, Austin, New York, somewhere in LA, maybe somewhere in Texas, not Texas, but Florida, some of these bigger cities. But the thing is, for this limited release, that's how they typically do it. Now, follow me here. Are they going to do a limited release where they're actually putting this movie into smaller theaters, into smaller cities, because they have potentially gotten this pandemic situation under control? That's what I thought about this morning when I was thinking about this story. What do you guys think? Do you think that they're still going to do the rollout where they're going to have it in limited theaters and it's going to be some of those bigger ones like the Chicagos, the Austins, maybe Houston, LA, Seattle, stuff like that? Or do you think that the Tenet and WB, they're going to roll it out into smaller cities? I'm kind of got my fingers crossed where if they do, release it in smaller cities, then I would potentially, hopefully, fingers crossed again, have it open up in my city or my town, because mine's smaller than those other, the Chicagos and whatnot, but they're bigger than, your rundown kind of one theater cities and whatnot. But I'm very curious on how this is going to open up. Again, I think that who knows? I'm not a businessman. I am not working for the marketing department for WB. I think that Tenet is obviously going to be one of the most pirated movies out there. I am terrified of spoilers because that people are going to be spoiling stuff for all of us on the internets. It's going to be definitely difficult to stay away from that. But also, if it doesn't open up in a limited city near you, you're going to have to wait even longer to see this movie. And I'm curious if they're going to try to somehow roll this out in a very kind of delayed fashion where, maybe smaller cities, bigger cities, and then the biggest cities get it. Is it going to be in the movie theaters for like 6 months? Are you going to have to risk your life to see Tenet? I don't know. I'm very curious on what you guys have to say about this because, yeah, they keep delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. And the fact that they came out with this and kind of have made a statement for it, I don't think that they're going to delay this anymore. This is kind of the set release schedule for this movie, and they're going to say, hey, this is what we're doing. But yeah, right now it's looking like it's coming out August 26th internationally, Canada, I believe the 27th, and then the North America limited release on Labor Day weekend. Are you guys going to go out and see this movie? Are you guys going to try to book a ticket over to Europe, a round trip, just to see this movie? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious what you guys have to say. Toast Media has to say, I doubt Tenet will release this year. Still, it'll get delayed again. Honestly, Toast, I'm right there with you. I really do think that this will be delayed once again. It doesn't make much sense, but if they're trying to make a little bit of money before they throw it on VOD, I'd be curious on how this all plays out. Dorito Chip Gamer, again with the hot takes and the scoops here, he's saying Tenet is connected to the Snyder Cut and will release at the same time. So people, the Snyder Cut's coming out September 3rd, according to Dorito Chip Gamer. Please list your references and sources in the chat. Hey, we got Burns reviews in the chat. What's going on, Burns? And then Tyler Calvert has to say, it all depends on if AMC, Regal, and all of them actually open up. They're going to reopen on August 21st now, and it's always subject to change. Yes, that's so true. That was another thing that I was going to add to this story, is that Regal, all of them, AMC and whatnot, they are opening up or plan to open up, prepping for this release of Tenet, essentially. So who knows? Who knows what's going to go on? I think that everyone is just standing there by the button, waiting for a movie to drop or waiting to open up the doors. And then Jacob Anders has to say, one good thing about where I live, usually we get a lot of early releases, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's here. So yeah, he might be lucky, and Jacob, wherever you're living, if you have a couch open, I might come there for the weekend. We can make a nice, mandate out of it. We go to the movie together. I can get the popcorn, you can get the soda. That would be fun. That would be fun for sure. But that's the Tenet news for the week, as always. Let's jump back over here and talk about some of our other news topics. So next up on the docket is going to be Hailee Steinfeld. I always want to say Hailee Steinfeld. I'm a big fan of Seinfeld. She is, according to everyone on the internets, she is going to be cast as Kate Bishop, Hawkeye's daughter, in the Hawkeye Disney Plus series. So let me pull up these reports that this is going to be the case. So again, we're jumping over to some news reports, and this report's been everywhere. My first thought about this whole Hailee Steinfeld thing is I thought that this was already done. This rumor had essentially been in the news for months and months and months. I feel like all the way back to last September. So I guess I wasn't extremely... Whoa, this is breaking news. I mean, it right here, it says, after months and months of rumors and vague comments, a new report confirms that Hailee Steinfeld will join the cast of Disney Plus's Hawkeye series. And again, this is a limited series. I believe it's going to be 6 to 8 episodes. Don't quote me on that. But I think that she is going to turn in a solid performance for this. I mean, she has done some great work in... The Edge of 17, but also Bumblebee as well. So I think that she can obviously hold her own. I think that she will be a great Kate Bishop, very much leading into this next era of the MCU or whatnot. But yeah, it says, according to the Illuma Nerdy, which is a fun name, Steinfeld will portray Kate Bishop, the protege of Jeremy Renner's Clint Barton. The series will focus on Barton training Bishop to become the next Hawkeye as she takes on the superhero mantle. So yeah, it's definitely, I think that this has probably got to be true. Because they're trying to bring in all of this younger talent to almost restart the MCU. Not exactly restart, but almost bring in those new Avengers. So we're getting a new person with a bow. We have Spider-Man that's very young. Who knows who else we could get in there that's going to be very young for this world. But I think that, yeah, if you're going to get this woman, Steinfeld, I think that she's very talented. You could get her for 10 plus years. And I think that she would be a great addition to this world and whatnot. But the Hawkeye series, I don't think that there's a release date for it. It's coming out alongside, there's also She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight. There's a bunch of different series over on Disney Plus that they're working through right now. But also, whatchamacallit, Tyler, yeah, perfect. Thank you, Tyler. You're saying that she was also in the Spider-Man, Spider-Verse animated. She was, what's her name? Spider-Gwen. Yeah. So she is no stranger to superhero type movies, big blockbusters and whatnot. And I think that she does a great job. What do you guys kind of think of this information though? Do you think that this is going to be true? Do you think that it's still kind of being a rumor? Would you like to see her in this role? I'm kind of curious. Yeah. Give me that Squirrel Girl series. I'm still saying Squirrel Girl. Anna Kendrick as Squirrel Girl. Someone call up Kevin Feige. Make this series happen because Squirrel Girl needs to be greenlit 3 years ago. I'm telling you. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think that there's any other, really, yeah. So she's been in, let's see here. She's been in, Dickinson, Charlie's Angels, which I don't remember her in, Bumblebee, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and the Pitch Perfect franchise along with True Grit. So she definitely has some experience under her belt, and I loved her in Edge of 17, which they don't have here. Ugh, get your reporting down. That was a good movie, people. But yeah, I could see her with the bow, bringing in the Young Avengers, all of that stuff. What do you guys have to say in the chat? Let's see here. Jacob Anders is saying Nashville, so all right, that's where I'm going to be going for the weekend of Tenet to live and stay on his couch. Kate Bishop is in the MCU, and Spider-Gwen is whatever they called the Sony animated. Yep, that's true. Young Avengers movie coming, ? And then the eye emojis from Toast Media. Yeah, we could be getting a Young Avengers, and they could set up all of this crazy stuff. Who really knows what's going to happen in Phase 5 of the MCU? Because we have the Eternals, we have Black Widow, we have Shang-Chi, we have Doctor Strange. But then it's starting to get a little weird where Blade, which I'm looking forward to, I'm very excited for that. But then we're going to get a whole bunch of stuff that we don't even know what the hell is coming. Who knows? Captain Marvel 2, who knows what's going on? But yes, Hailee Steinfeld, it right now is being rumored, more than likely 95% chance she is going to be Kate Bishop in the Disney Plus Hawkeye series, but who knows when we are going to get that, because everything has been sort of delayed. So yeah, that is the story of that story. That's the news story. That's the story of the news story. So Hailee Steinfeld, who knows? Kate Bishop, slinging them arrows. But apparently one other thing, and I'm not too aware of it and knowledgeable, but they are adapting a good Hawkeye comic line that is one of the best ones, or I guess the only good one of Hawkeye. So it does feel like they might have a good story as well in this limited series. I'm down for it. I don't know. Jacob Anders has to say Squirrel Girl and Butt Boy team up. That would be the best. You know, she's bringing the nuts, he's bringing the cheeks. Boom, right there. That's the tagline of the movie right there. Dwayne Johnson as Squirrel Girl. Yes. Dwayne Johnson. Make that hashtag happen. I would give him a big old fluffy tail. I would like to see that happen. Next up, though, on the news docket, it's just kind of something fun that I saw. Cody's been lurking this whole time, and he likes Hailee Steinfeld. So hot take coming from Cody. Not really a hot take, but I think that everyone really adores her. I think that she's very charming, very fun, and very capable of taking on this role. But anyways, the next thing I want to talk about, I think that this is kind of a fun story, because we talked about it a little bit, I think 2 months ago, where Universal and AMC and a lot of other movie chains were in a fisticuffs about releasing movies on VOD, and then the theaters saying that they're not going to release these movies into the movie theater, therefore crippling the movie business forever. Not really, but that's what they thought, apparently. So this next news story is, yes, Universal can now release movies on VOD 3 weeks after the movie theater. So this is a very interesting story to myself, because yeah, they had this whole debacle earlier when they were releasing Trolls World Tour, King of Staten Island, a handful of other movies from Universal. Universal was ruffling some feathers, essentially. So AMC, Regal, and I think even Cinemark came out and said, whoa, buddy, if you're going to do this, we're not going to show your movies in the movie theaters. So therefore, hurting the movie theaters, hurting Universal, hurting everyone in the long run. So apparently they met up, did that whole like Predator epic handshake, their greased up biceps, and met a deal. And they're saying that Universal and AMC Entertainment reaches a new agreement that allows movies to be made available on demand after just 17 days in the movie theater. So yes, they're saying 3 weeks, but it's actually only 17 days. So when you dive into this, what that deal or that plan is that these movies essentially have to be in the movie theater for only 3 weekends, and then I believe that Monday, they can then be released on VOD. So I think that this is absolutely bananas. One, it might be, who knows what the future of movie theaters, the world, this virus that's going around, who really knows what's going to happen with it. But if this is a way for both of them to make money, the movie theaters and VOD or the studios, cool, great. But I know that there's a lot of people that will wait that 17 days. The casual fans will wait that 17 days to then get the movie on VOD. So I think that this is way too soon. 3 weeks, 17 days. my parents, my siblings, my friends, they're not going to go out to the movie theaters. I will, because I want to see these movies and review them, obviously. But if I can wait 17 days to potentially watch a smaller indie movie at home, again, this is straight up only Universal right now. So they're kind of talking about movies such as Fast and Furious 9 and Jurassic World Dominion. So yeah, 17 days. I think that that's crazy to just wait for this movie. But yeah, they made a deal. At least they made somewhat nice, where they can, release these movies. Let's see here. Today, Universal and let me see this. Today, Universal and AMC Entertainment announced that Universal Movies will have to commit to a 3-weekend, only 17 days, window of theatrical exclusivity. Following that, the studio then will, quote, have the option to make its titles available across premium video on demand, including AMC theaters on demand. Now this thing is, it could help AMC theaters on demand if they didn't make this, these movies aren't exclusive to like Vudu or Fandango Now or any of those other platforms, Apple Movies or whatever, PlayStation Store, and they only made them exclusive to AMC theaters on demand, that might be a deal I could see. Like the respective theaters, their demand services if they have them. That would make a lot of money or make somewhat sense, so therefore they're still getting a little piece of the pie without having the movie theaters open. But I think that, 17 days, that's like tomorrow. That's crazy. But yeah, they're talking about the main ones, the big ones, for example, for instance, big screen spectacle. Actually, hold on. Let me read this to you guys. This means that not every Universal. Okay, wait. The key component of this, of course, is that Universal's call if a movie goes to demand after 3 weeks so Universal gets to make the call. This means that I can't even pronounce that word. Not every Universal release will be treated equally. For example, big screen spectacles like Fast and Furious 9 and Jurassic World could potentially stay in the theater a bit longer to ramp up that monies and whatnot. In contrast, this new model will be beneficial for Universal's award contenders, which typically have limited box office prospects. So yeah, crazy stuff I think about. I'm curious what you guys in the chat have to say. I don't think Cinemark did it though. I wish we could just download movies and shows into our brains like The Matrix. Yeah, coming from Skull Queen, I think that's the future. Just wait until Cyberpunk 2077. I think that's what's gonna happen. Cody is saying this is nuts. Can't believe AMC agreed to it. Yeah, 17 days is nothing. It's 3 weekends, and even with what's going on right now, who knows what's gonna happen. That's also most Blumhouse movies too, so the next 2 Halloween movies as well. Yep, so the Halloween movies, Universal movies as well will fall under this. Toast Media has to say, I don't think it might be a problem with them. Disney literally started showing Endgame spoilers on their ads like 2 to 3 weeks after release. Okay, maybe that didn't make much sense. No, it makes sense. Yeah, that's the thing is like, usually if you don't see these movies opening 2 weekends, they start releasing new trailers and new TV spots to get people enticed to see these movies. So after that 2 to 3 weekend, you're going to be able to see these movies on VOD. So it could be a thing where I think the movie theaters are going to be hurt the most, but it might benefit the studio because they won't have to use as much marketing dollars potentially to make these TV spots, to make these new trailers, to get people into the movie theater, because instead they can just be like, boom, this movie is available right now. So it'll be interesting to see how they change their marketing strategy and the rollout of some of these movies coming into the future, because I think that this is absolutely crazy. And again, who knows? It's one of those things, it's like, do you release your movies now to try to make some monies for the movie theater and the box office and just hope for the best? Because who knows? Everything could get worse, and this just could not be an option moving forward. Also, I just really like this picture of the dinosaur in front of AMC with a really mad Dom Toretto. I think that is a great image of showing that Universal means business. They are essentially bullying the movie theaters potentially. That's the way I look at it. Who knows what the dealings behind the curtain were. Those Universal copyright claims are about to become even faster. Yes, that's the true. All of you fans or all of you movie people on the internets, you know how Universal is very happy, I would say, about getting copyright claims. So yes, they will be jumping down and copyright claiming everyone. I love the idea of more movies going to VOD. If I want to go to the movie theater, it's an option, but the option of seeing it at home is tantalizing. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's interesting. It's like, do you go out to the movie theaters? Do you watch it at VOD on home demand? This could be the downfall or a big change to the movie industry, where the movie theater could be this kind of more luxury type item where you're seeing those blockbusters and people are waiting till VOD, those 3 weeks, 17 days to watch some of the other movies. Let's see here. If people stay at home and this keeps other people out of seat C6 in Theater 9 of my Regal, then I suppose I don't mind. Cody coming in hot, knowing exactly what theater, exactly what seat he sits in every single time. So yeah, AMC, Universal, right now it seems like they've made a treaty. They are buddies, and everything is good to go for them right now. So yeah, that is the news items this week. We have some more Tenet news, which, God, I want to see the movie, but I hope I don't have to report on Tenet news anymore moving forward. We have Universal, and then Hailee Steinfeld joins the Hawkeye Disney Plus series. We're in the last 9 minutes of the show. Let's round this out with the portion of the show that some people like and some people don't, because they don't like the sounder. One of the best sounders in the business. We are going to get into JBuck Movie Spotlight. All right, peoples, this is the part, JBuck Movie Spotlight is the part of JBuck Live where I pick a movie that feels like it's, a hidden gem, a guilty pleasure, one that needs to be more noticed, or one that I just watched and I need to talk about it. And this week, hopefully I uploaded the file, because otherwise we will be cutting this show early. This week, the movie Spotlight is one of my favorite films, guilty pleasure. It has a very low Rotten Tomatoes score. I'm going to try to look this up quick, but it is The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and I absolutely love this movie. It is goofy, it is weird, I love it. It is notorious for being a bad movie because it has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 17%. I love it. It is the movie that, according to Sean Connery, made him retire from acting. But if no one knows what this movie is, essentially it is the Avengers of weird creatures. So you get Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, you get a vampire, you get the Invisible Man, you get Dorian Gray, who is a guy that hasn't really aged, you get a guy that is like wealthy and rich and has all of this technology, you get oh God, what's Sean Connery's character's name? But he is like a sharpshooter. Let's see here. Alan Quarterman. Yep, Alan Quarterman. You have Captain Nemo. You have Dorian Gray. You have Tom Sawyer of this. So this is and it's based on a comic book that is very much beloved amongst fans. And they took the lore of this, put it into a movie, and unfortunately, it just didn't land for a lot of people. But they played this on FX every single day, every single week, because FX has the movies. If you remember those commercials, I would watch this so much all the time. And I think it's just cool because it's so ridiculous. And I always make this comparison, and I want to make a video essay on this, but The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is exactly the same movie as 2012's Avengers. It's just no one likes it because you have Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, that's Hulk. You have Iron Man, which is the rich billionaire guy with technology, that's Captain Nemo. You have a sharpshooter, which is Hawkeye. Think about it. It's exactly the same movie. But yeah, I think it's got cool action. It has some cool lore. It has some weird, bizarre, unique visuals. It's a cool movie. It's a guilty pleasure for sure, but I adore that movie. So that is why League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is hitting this week's JBuck movie spotlight. What do you guys have to say? Yes, Jacob Anders, my ears just orgasmed because of the JBuck movie spotlight sounder. Oh my, I remember this movie. Yep, some of you guys are saying that it's not a good thing. You guys have never watched this movie. For some reason, Family Guy made a theme park ride based on this movie. I might have to check that one out. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's like Universal Monsters Avengers. Yes, that's exactly what it is, Jacob. And that's why I think I like it, is because it's such goofy, weird lore that they were able to team up and everything. Essentially, it's like the Avengers Universal Monster Squad. So definitely didn't get the reception it deserved. They tried to set it up for a sequel. It's not going to get a sequel. Who knows what's going to happen for this? For sure, but I don't know. I don't even think it's on streaming anywhere. But if and when it's on Netflix, go check it out, people. So that has been this week's JBuck movie spotlight, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. All right, peoples, we are in the last part of JBuck Live. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Cody has to say he's only seen League of Extraordinary Gentlemen once. I better track it down again. Yes, check it out. And he also says we need a crossover of these guys, a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen with the League of Evil Exes, again coming from Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That would be crazy. Yes, Monster Squad, that'll be a movie I'm sure we'll talk about later in another future JBuck movie spotlight. But guys and gals, and maybe a squirrel watching this stream, who knows, maybe a raccoon. Thank you guys so much for checking out JBuck Live, hanging out in the chat. Always a pleasure jumping in here and bringing you guys some news, some shenanigans. And again, I say every single week I'm going to have more sponsors, aka commercials. I just have been swamped with a lot of videos. I am grateful and lucky that Netflix keeps sending me more and more content to review, so I have been busy on all of that stuff. Anyways, for announcements of what's coming this week to the channel and what I will be up to is tomorrow I will have a Netflix review for a movie called The Hater. I actually watched this movie like a month ago, so it's a wild one. Check out that review. It's very cool, very suspenseful type thriller movie. I will be, hopefully right after this, a brand new Patreon podcast over on Patreon for JBuck. Stay tuned for that if you're a Patreon member. I will be on the SoCo show later this week. Cody and Seth in the chat, my moderators, two good buddies. I will be on their podcast this week, which I'm sure we will talk about the Emmys. So again, check out the SoCo show, SOCO. And then this weekend, I will be probably doing another couple videos of Umbrella Academy Season 2. And then I will try to be putting together a 4,000 subscriber Q&A. Thank you. This last week, I just hit 4,000 subscribers on the channel, JBuck Studios. Like, I am so grateful for all of you guys that I am lucky enough to do this, come on here, talk about nonsense, talk about, weird things in the news, but also movies and things that I love. So thank you guys so much for supporting this channel, and the growth is honestly awesome. You guys are awesome. It wouldn't be without you guys. So thank you so much. There will be more announcements about that, so stay tuned for all of that. We will see you guys next week. I'm going to cut this feed, and hopefully next week we'll try to do something fun, because I really still want to do that chicken nugget taste test or ranking. So who knows? We will stay tuned for that, but we will see you guys next week, of course.